You know, I would say good morning, but I will just say morning on this New Year's Day.
Oh, participated in amateur night, huh?
Oh, this is the only thing I could find in my closet at this moment.
I love how we don't actually talk about our outfits, but like
somehow it's so matchy.
We both got the blue memo, apparently. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, this is a very deflated Marshall Shore.
Oh, that's I'm Marshall Shore, and this is
Melissa Farley.
And we're coming to you from the fabulous
Arizona Center. Yes, yes. So, welcome to 2025. We're so excited to start this year with you. We have a great lineup of guests that are slated to come on the show. Marshall's got all things history that you could possibly dream of to talk about.
We've got some really cool stuff coming up.
We do have some really cool stuff coming up. Yeah. So it's going to be, I think, a pretty spectacular year. We're feeling optimistic about it. We hope you are too, and that you had a wonderful New Year's Eve and safe celebration. But we're going to get things kicked off pretty much right away, I think, with our first guest.
Just because, I mean, it's like, you know,
of 2025.
Yeah.
Look at how momentous is that.
It's a great way to start.
Okay, so we're going to just take a mini, super quick break and introduce you to Diane Dresback, one of my friends, and a very, very talented author, filmmaker, creator. So we'll be right back with Diane.
And welcome to the morning show.
You are so... All right, I'll do Marshall's one. And welcome to the morning show. I'm Melissa Farley here at the Arizona Center
and I'm Marshall Shore. Good morning and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year indeed.
Indeed. Welcome to 2025 and the fabulous Arizona Center.
Yep. We are joined by our very first guest of the new year, my friend Diane Dresback. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, especially on a holiday week. We know how crazy things get. So I know Diane mostly from the film world, but I also guest authored a small little chapter in a book called From Us For You that you put together, and that was your brainchild. But you've got a lot of books actually that you have authored. So tell us a little bit about you and this new book that you have out.
Yes, the new book that I have out is A Hand for Me, which is my 10th book, including From Us For You. But it really started from Room for Another. And this Room for Another was basically my adoption story. So I was adopted as a child. And the story is from my mother's perspective. It's basically mostly her story of when she was a small child and all the things she had to overcome, and then she ended up being pregnant in college and gave me up for adoption.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of me in there when I, as I get to know her, because I did meet her when I was 21. And then I wrote this about 6 years ago. And then the second one, A Hand for Me, is my brother's adoption story. So we were both adopted from different families and completely different situations. So his mother gave him up sent him to an orphanage when he was 3 years old, and he was there for a couple years, and then our shared adoptive mom came and adopted him.
Okay. Now this is a story that's clearly been resonating with people. It's like on best-selling lists on Amazon. I can't imagine maybe some of the feedback that you're getting of people that are probably relating to some of these stories. What has that experience been like, writing about something that's, I know it's mostly from your mother's perspective, but something that's so personal?
Well, the Hand for Me is written basically from two perspectives. So it's from our adoptive mom and my brother. And so the feedback has actually been amazing. It's starting to come in now from A Hand for Me, and it's very moving. Yeah. And the reviews are positive, and even though it's a difficult story, It's been very positive. But the best review I got, which isn't actually a review on Amazon or anything, was from my brother. From my brother. He called up and he's in tears, and he's, you know, just saying how much it impacted him and how it had actually got him thinking about who he was and why he was who he was.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, all the other stuff is bonus, but that was really cool.
Did he get to read it before it got published, or did he read it after it came out?
He read it after it came out.
Okay.
I mean, of course, we had some discussions and stuff beforehand, and then I also went over very detailed outline of what I was going to write about, because it's inspired by the true story. Obviously, you know, he doesn't remember when he was 2 years old going to the orphanage, so I kind of had to imagine what that might be like.
Right, right.
And how was that experience, thinking of your adoptive mom and coming up with her voice in certain situations where you didn't have her voice at that moment? So how did you go through that process of creating some of those bits?
Well, a lot of this, you know, came from memories that I remembered, stories that she had said, actually in both books from both my mothers. You know, the stories that they shared and what I observed happen when my parents, which I consider my adoptive parents, I call them my parents, they were older, a little bit older when they adopted me at 3, or, I'm sorry, my brother at 3, and then a year later me as a baby. So there's 6 years between us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to get into that. It was pretty emotional to get into my mom's head. You know, she wasn't able to have children of her own, and so she built her family by adopting.
Yeah, yeah. I'm always curious, like, not just with your books, but also with your filmmaking, like your storytelling is always so poignant and smart. And I'm just curious, like, how do you come up or even decide what stories to tell? Like, how do you decide what becomes a book and what becomes a film?
It's interesting that you asked that, because when I first, for many years, I had a college professor who, when I was a freshman in college, who told me I shouldn't bother writing because I wasn't any good.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I believed him.
Yeah.
Because here I am, 18 years old in the big university, and you know, I'm supposed to look at my professor as knowing, you know, all knowing.
Right.
And so I never believed I could write a book. And so when a situation happened in Room for Another, when I, after I had gotten to know my biological mother, and I kept saying, oh, this would make a great book, but I didn't think I could do it.
Yeah.
Because I still believed it. So this is decades later.
Right.
So anyway, so I ended up writing a screenplay. So Room for Another was the very first screenplay that I had written.
Okay.
It was terrible because I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
Self-taught, you know, that kind of stuff. Read a lot of books and did some classes and stuff. But but it's a period piece, so of course it makes it more expensive to make, and you know, this stuff. So anyway, time went on, and that kind of got me back into doing some narrative filmmaking, and then the other books, I'm going to talk about all these stories. A lot of them are just what if type stories. So I'm sitting in the bathtub. What if I woke up in somebody else's body? You know, because, you know, these are fictional stories. These ones are based on true life, but there's a little fiction in them. But my other stories are fictional, truly. And or what happens if you could cryonically preserve a newborn baby until, you know, you're ready to bring the baby home? So those ideas kind of start to percolate, and so then that's what leads to, you know, some of my other stories that I have out there.
So is the process different of a book or something that you're readying to become a film?
Actually, it's interesting because the films that I have, for the feature films that I have screenplays for now, actually were started as screenplay ideas, then they went into novels, and now they've gone back into screenplays. So I've kind of taken them full circle.
Okay.
Like my first 4 books are all based on film ideas that went to novels. But when I do that, it gave me a really good opportunity to learn my characters, get to know my characters really well in a book versus, a film.
And she's super humble, so whenever she does do a short film and enters a film festival or a competition, she like sweeps awards. Like and it's one of those things too where obviously her writing is extremely talented, but she'll cast amazing actors. She works with really incredible people. Like Diane knows how to build a team and create something collectively that's really stunning. So I applaud you. That's a skill in and of itself, to be able to do that. So tell people where they can find this book, and is there like an order that they should read it in? Does it matter?
It really doesn't matter. I wrote that Room for Another might be a good place to start, but they can start with A Hand for Me as well, because they're independent of each other, but they're related because some of the characters, such as my adoptive mom, is the same. So
yeah.
The best place is, it is on Amazon, of course, where I have paperback. It's on Kindle Unlimited at this time. I also have audiobooks.
Oh, you do?
I have audiobook for Room for Another. Hand for Me is coming.
Okay.
They're just finishing up all the process now, so after the first of the year, well, maybe halfway in January, we should be able to have the audiobook for this as well.
So is it you narrating the audio, or is it someone else?
Oh, no.
Okay, well, no, because it's like, sometimes it's hearing the author read their own material.
Right.
And that's I was almost playing. It's like with that idea of what you were talking about with the film. It's like almost now pairing up somebody to tell the story.
Well, we did
nonfiction.
Yeah.
I can do it for nonfiction. Like I
Okay.
did it for our preface, and I had all the writers read theirs.
For our
Okay.
book,
From
from
us.
us for you. Yeah, like I
okay.
got
Yeah.
to read my own chapter, and each author got to read their own chapter, which was
Right.
really a cool experience.
yeah,
and
that was
that's
fun.
that's another book I would suggest you check out too of Diane's. It's just a lot of really incredible women and powerful stories, and I think you just feel uplifted and seen when you read something like that. It's a great gift book. I know we just passed the holiday season, but like I give it to people all the time. I just kind of share it with especially, sorry Marshall, usually other women. But yeah, no, so she's got 10 books. I didn't realize it was 10.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Broke the double digits.
So if they just look up Diane Dresback on Amazon, is that how they find you? Is there a website that's best to go to?
DianeDresback.com.
Okay.
Or on Amazon, and then Mindclover.com is my filmmaking site. But they kind of interrelate a little bit, so you can find the other.
And if you love her work, she's actually got a newsletter that she does, and I definitely recommend you sign up to get up to date on all of her book updates and things that are going on. Diane, thank you so much for being on the show today.
you.
It's been such a pleasure to have you here.
I appreciate it very much.
Yeah. Well, we'll be right back after this break. We've got our things to do, some history, other things to celebrate. We'll see if there's some birthday people that I can actually recognize.
There's all kinds of fun stuff to talk about.
We like fun here.
Oh my gosh, parades. So yeah.
Parades. Oh
Yeah.
boy. All right. Keep it right here.
And welcome back to the morning show on this New Year's Day. We are so happy you are joining us on 2025. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're coming at you from the Arizona Center, the fabulous Arizona Center. And it's a pretty good day, I feel like. Starting off my new year with you.
How can that be a bad thing? And me starting the new year off with you.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we're both wearing blue.
Without even planning this.
I know.
It happened.
Get out of my brain.
So
even our guest had blue on. That was
know.
fun.
No, as well as all of you for joining us on New Year's Day. We are so happy to be joining you in your homes, in your car.
If you're not wearing blue, put on blue right now. Be a part of this moment.
Unless you're driving, then please keep wearing what you're wearing. until you stop.
Well, we are a show. I hope they're not watching us while they're driving.
Well, they could be listening to us.
That's true.
So.
I know, we keep getting, I feel like the word podcast keeps getting thrown at us.
No, it does. I
know.
mean, and it's like, well, no, it's like, but we're such a visual pair. So.
You're really missing the best of us if you don't get to see us.
So, all right. So, Melissa.
Yes.
Since the partying has stopped, well, I guess, or maybe slowed down is a better term.
Okay.
What are some things we can do?
Oh, okay. We're not doing birthdays?
Are we doing birthdays?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Then
thought we
let's-
were still doing
then
birthday
let's
parties.
do some birthdays. you
I'm not
know?
ready to be done partying.
So, okay. So if you've been watching TV, Finn Wolfhard. Now, if you've seen Stranger Things,
Yes.
you've seen this young Canadian man coming to your screen. He has been in a variety of shows like The Addams Family, Dog Days. He also is the lead vocalist for a band called Pernia.
No way.
Yeah, so I didn't realize he also has a band. So
I just knew
there
him
you
as
go.
a Stranger Things kid.
I know. Who knew? He's multi-talented.
It's a talented cast. It's a really talented
is.
cast. Yeah. How old is that kid?
21.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he looks like a baby.
I know. I was
Okay.
like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's so young.
No, he looks like 15.
And I feel like we've all grown up with him.
Yeah.
So from that first episode of
That's
Stranger
true.
Things,
Like Millie Bobby Brown is like married now, or
I know
engaged or
exactly
something.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
So it's just kind of
holy
funny. It's
crap.
like, oh yeah, it happened so quickly in that time
I know,
period
it's
that their
weird.
lives have
Yeah.
changed, and
Okay.
and then also the Queen of Daytime, the fabulous Susan Lucci.
God, she just
Oh my gosh.
always looks stunning. Always.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she has been on All My Children since 1970, she was, for 41 years, was Erica Kane.
Yeah.
But her probably biggest claim to infamy was 19 Emmy nominations.
Wow. No wins? All
She
noms?
finally won
Okay.
in 1999. She
Good for her.
finally won, but
Good
it took
for
19
her.
nominations for her to get there. So
Is that the longest someone has ever played a character?
I'm sure it is, because soap operas aren't really a thing anymore.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, Frasier Crane was Frasier on Cheers. Frasier for, like, 11 seasons, and then now he's got a new show.
Right, that's now making a comeback. I don't know, so
I don't know,
maybe
I'm just curious.
maybe there'll be a Susan Lucci
Versus-
Frasier Crane,
versus
or
Kelsey
there'll be a
Grammer.
crossover
Yeah.
at that point. Where
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be very funny, where
That
they
would be really
suddenly it's
funny.
like,
Okay. William
oh,
Roche.
William Roche.
I don't know what William Roche is known
And
for,
what
though.
was William Roche on?
Coronation
Oh,
Street.
UK. Sounds like a
Okay.
lovely Channel 4 show out of the UK. And so there you go. See?
Well, fine. Susan Lucci and Kelsey Grammer have been robbed
Again.
again.
Oh, those Brits. Oh my gosh. And then, Madam C.J. Walker.
Do I know Madam C.J. Walker?
So
I
she
do not.
was the first female self-made millionaire.
Wow, that's cool.
And so she was famous for hair products.
Okay.
And so what she did was she had a product, but instead of just her selling it, she trained all of these women across the country to sell her products.
Is that like Mary Kay?
So it was long before Mary Kay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was basically, and so it was hair products for women.
That's really cool.
For black women particularly.
Yeah.
And so, and that's the thing. And so that's where she, there was, a couple of years ago, there was a film made about her, talking about that. And it was just really amazing how through this rapidly growing network, that's where she made her money and her
Yeah.
wealth.
That's cool. Well done. I'm glad
And so
I learned about that today.
Yeah. And so it's funny being from Indiana, it's like she was kind of always this mythological fixture. She's spent a lot of time in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And so, as well as then New York. So yeah,
Very cool.
which I think that's such a cool story.
Well, and happy birthday to all of you celebrating birthdays today, if you're out there. If you'd like us to do a shout out for you on the show for your birthday or an anniversary or special occasion.
That's right. Just let us know.
Let
How
us
can they
know.
reach us?
You can reach us at On the Morning Show on Instagram. or hello@onthemorningshow. That's our email. Our wonderful producer runs both of those accounts very beautifully, and she will be glad to let us know what you've got going on.
And we'll share your stories, we got coming up, celebrations, anniversaries, you name it. We are happy to hear from you.
That's right.
Especially if there's things you enjoy. I mean, maybe there's a particular guest. Maybe you wish there was more beer on this show.
Maybe they want regular pickle days.
That could, yes. I mean, or maybe another regular day. Maybe Whiskey Day.
Oh God.
Whiskey Wednesday.
Oh my God, I'd be on the floor.
We could do Whiskey Wednesdays.
Oh, all right, we'll see about that. Well, today is a day of celebration, being the first day of the year. As you know, I do a walk with my husband we'd go for a little hike. But Coach Lisa, who we had on earlier this season, would be thrilled about this first thing that you can do to celebrate the new year. It is a New Year's Day run to Swamp Foot, and it is at Black Canyon City, and it starts at 11 a.m. So this is supposed to be an easy trail, kind of for beginners, new runners. It's a fun area that you can kind of go and do it. So it's monster trucks. Just kidding, it's not a run. Look at that. All right. Well, I didn't know that. But you still, all skill levels can have, that looks terrifying. Do you want to do that?
I'm not even quite sure what's going on in that picture.
I don't either. Is that car right side up?
Is it still going, or is it just flopped over? Did the driver fall out?
Okay, can I read this to you?
Please do.
Okay, it says, it's time for our next run. Our New Year's Day will be running an easy trail to Swampfoot and Lion Tamer. This will be a beginner-friendly run with an area at the end of the trail where all skill levels can have fun. Swampfoot is a fun area to flex out and hone your driving and spot. Okay, so it is driving.
Oh.
I gotta read,
lack of driving.
I gotta read to sentence 3 apparently before I understand what's happening.
That photo is not driving.
Okay, so Lion Tamer is a buggy-only obstacle. They're hoping to have a few capable rigs and drivers to attempt the obstacle for everyone to watch. It'll be a relaxing, that photo looks really relaxing to me. It'll be a relaxing run.
Say nothing about that says relaxed.
Whatever, run, ride, do whatever this thing is doing in the photo.
That at the end, do they get pie?
No pie.
But you're in Black Canyon City, which is famous for pie.
You could go get pie. There's probably going to be a line out the door today, don't you think? Like a
but
line.
If you show up with what? If you show up on
one of those,
and one of those things
go right through.
Flipped on your side, all dirty and gnarly, and
someone will take pity on you. Here's some peach pie.
Exactly.
You look like you
have
need
a
some
pie.
peach pie.
Right.
Okay. This is another one. I'm not gonna feel like this is on purpose. This is just like setting us up for failure day. Satan Gym, Arizona's New Year's Day Spar Wars in Chandler. This is the annual Arizona State Spar Wars. This is what I'm not going to pronounce right. Nakmui practitioners are welcome to come in and start the year off right. It's free for anyone to attend. There's free food and drink. It's going to be from noon to 3 p.m. today. It's right off of Alma School in Chandler. I know what sparring is, but I've never heard of
But from the graphic, it looks like kickboxing.
Well, it is a type of kickboxing.
Oh.
But apparently this is a specific form. So if someone does this and watches the show, please come be a guest on our show and enlighten us what it is that this actually pertains to.
My fear with that is going to be like, hey, let's have a little spar
demonstration
right now.
I volunteer marshal, not it.
I was going to say,
not it.
No tag backs.
Okay, this one I can get behind. It's brunch. We all know what brunch is. I can do brunch. New Year's Day brunch by Oracle Patio Cafe. It's going to be really lovely, I think, for a buffet brunch. It is catered by Oracle Patio Cafe. It's in the historic El Rancho Robles Guest Ranch in Oracle, Arizona, so a little bit of a drive. It's from 11 to 1:30 p.m. in the iconic Hacienda House. There's 3 seating times. You'll have fireplaces going. You'll have a pool and darts in the speakeasy starting at 2. This is a reservation only, but tickets actually start to reserve at $24.
Oh.
So yeah, you can hop on and see if you want to spend the day, going out to Oracle and having a nice brunch.
Having a nice drive.
Not like the one we saw earlier.
Yeah. Don't take your buggy.
Don't take your doom buggy. I
Your
just think
doom
of Haunted
buggy.
Mansion.
Doom buggy.
Another one that I know, Cat Williams. Cat Williams will be at the Footprint Center in Phoenix tonight at 7 p.m. This comedian is legendary. He's going to make you laugh until you cry. Tickets are selling out, but there are still some available. They start around $95. So if you're looking for, again, a funny way to start off your
I would
2025.
say, what better way to bring in 2025 than some laughter?
With drinking.
Yeah, I mean,
You can sip
you're
and savor.
assuming I stopped.
There's not one or the other, right?
'Cause, there's that hair of the dog, so I've just been going since
Still going.
that beer yesterday morning.
If you
right
wanna
on through.
Keep it going at 4 o'clock today, you can go to the Hilton Garden Inn in Chandler and you can do a sip and savor midweek tasting. It starts officially at 5, and they're going to kind of journey through the world of fine spirits and wines. You'll find new flavors, mingle with fellow enthusiasts, indulge in expertly curated selections. They'll have stuff from the Garden Grill and Bar, and they feature a different tasting menu for beer, wine, and whiskey. So this is right in kind of that Old Town Chandler area, South Arizona Avenue. It is free to attend, but I think you have to buy probably like what you're tasting. So yeah.
Okay.
So
Nice.
whether you want to ride in a buggy
And have brunch,
And
or
have
whether
brunch.
you want to continue the celebrations and just delay the
hangover?
Yeah. You have options.
or you could just, I like how Chris keeps bringing up the buggy. I don't know if that's to rub in my face.
So
that I
I'm
didn't
thinking
know,
more,
but-
it's like, this would be a great ad for drink and drive responsibly.
Apparently that's not a thing. I've already been
Because
yelled at
that
for that.
doesn't look-
There is no drinking and driving responsibly, Marshall.
Well, that's not responsible. Well, yeah,
You
but
just don't drink
You
and
could have a
drive.
designated driver. This obviously did not have a designated driver.
It did not.
No.
No.
I don't even know if it has a driver.
Unless that's the point of the buggy. Did the buggy have like wheels on all sides of it? So it doesn't matter if you roll, you're still like buggying?
So you mean like there's that toy car that doesn't matter which way it
Yeah.
goes, whether it's upside down or
Yeah.
right side up, it just keeps going?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like that.
That would be kind of fun. Oh, you don't look so sold. Okay.
I'm like, that sounds...
That might change my mind.
Well,
I
it's
feel
like those
that
roller
could be
coasters.
interesting.
Did you see the one roller coaster where they like went in the loop-de-loop and it got stuck up here?
Yes.
And I'm like, that's like my worst fear.
I know.
And that's why
That would be real bad.
I would rather get
Real
in
bad.
front of a stage with 1,000 people and have to talk than get on one of those
Oh,
roller
because
coasters.
you're not afraid of that at
No,
all.
I'm not. No, I mean, other than, oh, good gosh. I'm just thinking about other people are terrified of things like that. But then it's
Yeah.
but getting stuck on a loop in a roller coaster?
No, that would
Yeah.
not be good.
Yeah. Not a good thing
Not
at
a
all.
good thing at all. What is a good thing, though, Marshall? What's some good history that we have?
Okay, so, it's New Year's Day.
It is.
So that means there's football and there's a Rose Bowl parade.
What?
And I love watching the Rose Bowl parade where everything is made out of flowers. It's such a cool way to kind of start afresh with fresh cut flowers, all made into floats that advertise all kinds of things. And in 1957, at the Rose Bowl parade, there was a beautiful float that was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah, that is obviously a Frank Lloyd Wright float.
And so it was titled Valley of the Sun, and it was really kind of the idea of the first sunshine. Now, if you'll see on the very nose of that is Miss Arizona 1957 Lynn Freeze.
You know what that reminds me of? You ever played Birdie? It has like the little ball and then
Oh, yeah.
The, like,
Badminton.
Badminton.
I was like,
I call it Birdie.
Oh, badminton.
Yeah, doesn't it look like?
It does look like a little badminton. Shuttlecock is what it's called. That little.
Fabulous name.
So it is indeed. So, yeah. And so what I love, so Lynn Freeze, her first husband, his last name was Borden, so that became her stage name. And so he was a direct descendant of Lizzie.
Lizzie Borden?
Yeah.
As in, like, gave her father 40 wives?
Yep,
Okay.
indeed.
Wow.
And so if you ever watch, there's a really, so I think her claim to fame is she was on Hazel.
Oh, I love Hazel.
So Hazel, she was also in a movie called Frogs.
Who was she in Hazel?
So she was, so after the original series,
Yeah.
then there was another kind of spin-off of that, just Hazel.
Yeah.
And so she was the wife
Oh, okay.
of Mr. B's brother.
Okay. So the Borden, Lizzie Borden angle, I did a seance. I went to a seance here, I don't know, a couple months ago, back in October, but I was surrounded by these women that had just gone and stayed overnight at Lizzie Borden's house and done one of those like ghost, you know, things. And I was like, I'm more freaked out by like what spirits you all brought back than like what's gonna come up today. Yeah.
But Lynn Borden was also in a movie called Frogs. That is all about when frogs attack.
Why would frogs attack? Because we all look
Because
like
it was
little
the
flies?
it was the 70s.
Were they giant frogs?
It was just the 70s, and they needed bad when animals attack.
When animals attack.
Yeah, I mean, like Kingdom of the Spiders.
Yeah.
When Captain Kirk was up in northern Arizona being attacked by tarantulas.
Well, but yeah,
But
tarantulas.
frogs. No, but it's really good.
It's good? Like so bad it's good?
Oh, completely.
Okay.
It is.
Well then.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
Although
I'll give it a
I've never
go.
seen it on a big. I would love to see it on a big screen.
Let's make it happen.
So that would be so much fun.
If anyone can make that happen, you
people,
can make it happen.
And people could bring little ribbit.
Well, folks, we have our next event. Marshall and I are hosting Frogs on the big screen. We don't know when, but we will let you know.
And we'll just have to find little.
Yes. I know where to find them. Rainforest Cafe.
That's right. We'll get them on as a co-sponsor.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Very good. And it is also, because New Year's, it is National Hangover Day.
Yes, I could see that.
And so lots of folks are hungover, including this gentleman. Now, you know, they talk about the best ways for a hangover to deal with it is hydrate.
That big old bottle of water.
That's right. And
Yep.
don't forget to eat some breakfast. The
Protein.
other thing you can keep doing is hair the dog. Now, it doesn't cure it just delays it. So at some point, you have to deal with the ramifications
over
of
with.
the
Yeah.
night before.
They have those tablets now that you can put in your drinks so that it's supposed to preempt the hangover. And, like,
Oh,
the
right. That kind
migraines
of
and
delays
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Or I guess lessens severity.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, have you ever done the IV thing?
Once at Country Thunder.
Ah.
They had a mobile IV, and because people really go hard at Country Thunder, I didn't, because I was working actually. And we did a story on the mobile IV because
Okay.
people were like booking it, like they'd get up really early in the morning at 7, do the IV, and then start drinking again. So that was like just part of their process.
Now, see, if you're doing hair the dog, do you need to continue? Do you need to do that?
If you feel too awful to even like function, then yeah. Because they want to go watch concerts and like be out. Like they're not just sitting on their butts drinking a beer. Like you're active.
Alrighty
Yeah.
then. As well as today is Apple Gifting Day.
Where's my apple?
You didn't get an apple. You might be shocked. I was running late this morning.
No apple
so
for
I was
you.
going to
Marshall,
stop and get you an apple.
you late?
But you got no apple.
We're both always late. Have you
So-
noticed that? We got to work on that.
But basically because an apple is that kind of symbol of health.
Yeah.
And so it's a great way to just kind of wish folks good health for the rest of the year.
And we do. We absolutely wish you good health. Go treat yourself to an apple today. Take care of that hangover. Go for a run or a buggy ride, whatever you want to do.
Or a drive or some pie.
Some
I
pie.
hear pie is really good for a hangover.
Chris has got the buggy up again.
That's right. You can take your buggy for pie. You
May
can
your
take
life be
you can-
better than this buggy in 2025.
That's right.
That's our parting wish for you. Goodbye. Good night.
Don't be the buggy. That's what we can say. Don't be the buggy.
We're going to have to get stickers made that say that.
Don't be the buggy.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, thank you for joining us today. We'll be coming back with a brand new episode from the Arizona Center. Hopefully, Marshall will have a little more energy.
Tomorrow. Yeah, because
tomorrow.
Well, because I'm not doing the hair of the dog thing, so I'll be in better shape, and maybe I can find other colors in my closet. I don't know.
Should we see if we magically wear the same color again? That would be
without coordinating.
Cool.
It's so eerie how that happens so many times.
It's never going to happen again now that we called it out so much.
Oh, no, it will. So, all right. Thank you all so much for welcoming us into your house as we kick off 2025.